Welcome to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. Mr. Barber is a preacher, a ventriloquist, a barefoot runner, and writes 2 blogs. When Jerrie communicates, he encourages people, try not to learn very much. Find a mustard seed. In the next few minutes, try not to learn very much. Look for something you can do to move a mountain, remove a stumbling block, or provide a stepping stone for yourself or someone else. And now, here's Jerrie with this week's mustard seed.
My attitude gets out of line frequently. 50 years ago, I started repeating my favorite verses and sayings after my run. As time progressed, I added more meaningful content. When I finish running, I walk about a quarter mile to cool down. During this time, I repeat this talk. Near the end, Rudyard Kipling's poem, If, helped me get through the months and years following December 19, 1976. This was the day an elder invited me into the elder's office after Bible study, just before going into the auditorium for worship and preaching, and told me I should think about resigning that day. You can hear more about that on episode 10. I found this talk helpful to remind me of some of the most essential things in life. My attitude realignment exercise, an after-running talk to God and myself. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the beginning of a new day. God has given me this day to use as I will. I can waste it or use it for good. What I do today is important because I'm exchanging a day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place something I have traded for it. I want it to be gain, not loss, good, not evil, success, not failure, in order that I shall not regret the price that I have paid for it. Brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended, but one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forward to those things which are ahead, I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. Father, I love you with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength. I love my neighbor as myself. I love Gail as my body, as myself. I love Gail even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. I love Jerrie Wayne Terry, Elizabeth Jeffrey Jackson Connor, Allie Jean, Whitney Nathan Zane, Asher Dean, Dalton Lizzie, Wyatt Houston, Christy, Britton, Darby, and Braden, and have a good relationship with them. I'm encouraging Christy, Britton, Darby, Braden, Jerrie Wayne Terry, Elizabeth, Jeffrey Jackson Connor, Allie Jean, Whitney Nathan Zane, Asher Dean, Dalton Lizzie, and Wyatt Houston in the training and discipline of the Lord. I love and honor Mother and Daddy. It is well with me. Thank you for making my days long on the earth. Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in my heart like a burning fire, shut up in my bones. I was weary of holding it back, and I could not. For if I preach the gospel, I have nothing to boast of. For necessity is laid upon me. Yes, woe is to me if I do not preach the gospel. To the weak, I became as weak that I might win the weak. I've become all things to all men that I might by all means save some. For as the rain comes down and the snow from heaven and do not return there, but water the earth and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goes forth from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish what I please, and it shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Every day, in some way, I'm growing. Every day, in some way, I'm growing. But whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever desires to be first among you, let him be your slave, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster, and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build 'em up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxieties, and see if there's any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. And that is the end of my attitude adjustment talk. Solomon said in Proverbs 4:23, keep your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the springs of life. This is one of the ways I do this. I'll put a link in the show notes for a PDF of this episode with references to the sources of the quotes.
Thank you for listening to Gleaning Mustard Seeds with Jerrie Barber. If you found a mustard seed, send a text or email with the link to a friend. This podcast was brought to you by Jerry's book, Between Preachers, You Can Grow Through Interim Ministry. Dale Jenkins wrote in the introduction, while Jerry has written the only book I know by a member of the Church of Christ on interim ministry, The excellent principles in this book could be used as a book on healthy moving, or healthy leader-minister relations, or a book for every Christian on healthy living. I'd encourage you to get one for every elder you know. You can order your book from Amazon. There will be a link in the show notes. Thank you for listening. Jerry looks forward to next week as we continue to collect and plant mustard seeds.